Have you ever peeked over the side of a dock and noticed things growing on it? Today, we're going to learn how to explore biodiversity through a new lens with an activity called belly biology.
Hi, my name's Peggy and I'm an education specialist here at Elkhorn Slough Reserve. So we're right now on the EB dock. It's a floating dock and we're going to introduce a concept to you about biodiversity because we're going to look at the biodiversity of what lives on the edge of the dock. Now this dock, it floats, so we have high tides and low tides. And no matter what the tide is, this dock floats up and down. So whatever lives on the edge of the dock is always at the same depth. We're going to introduce to you the concept of belly biology. It's one of my favorite types, second to eating. And I'm going to show you my equipment. And guess what? I have to get down on my belly to do this. So, are you ready? I am. Let's go see what we've got. When you go out and observe nature, normally we wouldn't collect anything. We like to leave wildlife alone to just live its life and just observe it in its natural state. But we at the reserve have a research permit to collect organisms so that we can study them. And so today we're going to use some of the tools that I brought to collect some samples to take into the lab so that you can see them. All right, it's time to get down on my belly. Hi, everyone. I need to get my equipment here to collect some of these beautiful invertebrates that are attached to EB dock. So here's our water that I'll be placing them in, and my container here to place them in. Okay, so here's how belly biology works here, is you reach down with your hand after laying on your belly and leaning over as far as you can without falling in, and take a few samples of some of the critters that live here. We don't want to take too many, just enough so that we can see them. So looks like I've got some sponge and some bryozoans, which later on we can talk about. You never know what you're going to get when you're out here, and it's always a cool surprise. Ooh, we've got some red algae I'm not familiar with. And lots of little creepy crawlies on my hand. They're called amphipods. So here's our sample. And I will place it into a larger container. And I don't know if you can see it, but voila.
Let's get these critters under a microscope.
A quick peek through the microscope reveals even more organisms, from those macroscopic amphipods that Peggy saw crawling on her hand to teeny tiny worms and naiads we couldn't see with our naked eye. There is a whole world of biodiversity living on that floating dock. Now it's your turn to explore. Find yourself a safe space to investigate on your favorite public dock and see what cool creatures are calling it home. Please do not remove any organisms unless you have a permit. There are still plenty of creatures to see with just your eyes, and leaving them be ensures others can observe them too. Happy California Biodiversity Week!